Hello, hello, hello. Let's see what is going on here. Hmm. Okay, welcome, 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 everybody. I think that I've got everything under control that I need to have under control to be able to do this live stream. I'm so happy that you guys are here. We are going to clear some cards to get ready to do some tarot. After that, we're going to do Reiki for everybody who is here at the time and everybody who stumbles across this video later. And then after that, we're going to do our best manifestation advice. And then after that, we'll do some little tiny readings for people who are here who would like me to look at something for them. So we've got quite the agenda. The most important thing is catching up with the regulars and meeting some new people. Cheryl Ford, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? Glad to see you here. Excuse me. Boom ba da doo doo, boom ba da doo, boom ba da doo doo, boom ba da doo. Isn't it a fantastic day outside? Nice and sunshiny. We like that, don't we? We've had plenty of rain. The mountains are green. The ground is green. Rain and snow. I got some great snow pictures yesterday. Glad to hear that you are good. I'm fantastic, my friend. I'm alive. I'm breathing. I'm doing readings in Reiki. My YouTube is going viral. My client base is expanding. My life is good, 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 and getting better all the time. Thank you for asking. LP, hello, hello. How are you? You're in Melbourne and it's cold there. Gorgeous in Boise. That sounds fantastic. Gorgeous here too. What's your temperature in Boise? Melbourne. What is cold to you in Melbourne, LP? What is your temperature? Let's clear one more deck just in case we need it. Boopity doo 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 doo. What is it in Celsius? I can get a rough approximation if you can tell me that. Took the dog for a walk and it's 70. I don't know what it is here. I don't think it's 70. I should look, huh? 61 here. Almost as warm. It's 8 degrees centigrade. Okay, so you guys' 0 is our 32. So we want to add 32 to 8. So that puts it at 40. Plus, we want to take 8 times about 2. So that puts you about 60. You're about the same temperature as me then. I was stationed over in Germany, so I got to where I could kind of figure out the difference between Celsius and Fahrenheit. I may not be perfect in my calculations, but I think I'm kind of close. Close enough to be functional. I lost you at maths. Totally get it. It's sad when you have to do math to figure out your temperature, isn't it? All right. So we're going to start with Reiki. And I'm setting the Reiki for whatever is for you guys is highest and best good for each of you as individuals. If you have something more particular that you would like the Reiki to focus on, whatever it is that you would need help with, feel free to go ahead and adjust that intention for yourselves. And then we'll do 5 minutes of Reiki, and then after that, we'll run into our tarot. But let's go ahead and get the Reiki started. I should take off my rings, but I'm being lazy. Don't do as I do as I say type of thing here. Let's begin. What do you guys, excuse me, what are you guys using your Reiki for? We're going to finish up here at 28 after the hour. Hello there, Eagle. Welcome, welcome. Good morning, Rhoda. Thank you, Rhoda, for vitality. What a good one. Excuse me. Anhedonic. I don't know what that is. If I wasn't giving you guys Reiki, I would be looking that up right now. Direction. I like that. Maybe I can still look it up. Hey, Google, what is the definition of anhedonic? Oh, okay. Well, let's pause that. It doesn't need to keep talking. You want to have some pleasure. Now I get it. And who wouldn't want that? How many more minutes? 2 more minutes. That's a really good one, Rhoda. 1 more minute, guys. Doing Reiki right now. And that's a wrap on our Reiki. Okay, Jen, tell us, how is JK related to you and what's going on that they need Reiki for? That will help us set some intentions there if you can do that. You're quite welcome, LP. And then we're just going to have a group send of prayers and energy for JK once we've got a little bit of information to point all of that at. Because I have great people here. They'll be happy to help. You are quite welcome. Well, I'm waiting on Jen. I guess we can start with our best manifestation advice. What is that going to be? Best manifestation advice for the next 24 hours. You guys be thinking about what it is that you want to manifest. What it is that you want to manifest. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. All right, best manifestation advice. Oh, ha ha. Wow. This is trippy. Okay. Eight of Cups says walk away. That's my walk away card. So this is saying our advice, first of all, is to walk away. And this is always walking away from something that has left us feeling exhausted or depleted. Okay. So what are we walking away from that's left us feeling exhausted or depleted? Some kind of friend that has betrayed us or got on our nerves or something like that, let us down, whatever. But this is a friend or a tribe member or a family member who has made us feel exhausted or depleted. Okay. And La Pape, why have they made us feel exhausted or depleted? Because they're not very committed. Oh, this is crazy. They're not very committed to. Okay, so this tells us a little bit more indication about the betrayal or the letdown. Basically says this person has not been really committed to whatever this friendship was, or whatever the relationship was. They haven't really been committed to it. Maybe we've been the one putting in all the energy and the effort here, and so it's time to walk away from that, because um, that's our manifestation advice, is not to be putting energy and effort into something where somebody else is not committed. If this is a thing where we're working together with another person towards a common goal and they're not really committed to it, okay, maybe we're not even really working towards a common goal, but that doesn't work, to put energy and effort towards something where somebody else, that's supposed to be something that's a mutual thing, where somebody else is not us at putting in energy and effort. We should walk away from that. It's made us feel exhausted and depleted. It's made us feel tired. It's time to walk away. We need to at least refresh. And if we want to manifest whatever we want to manifest, it's time for us to put that energy into whatever it is that we want to actually manifest, instead of, I want to say, this black hole. Okay. All right. So that's our best advice or heads up. Okay. So apparently Jenna's not still here because she has not made any response. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to do a group send to JK. Not even sure how JK is related to Jen, but that's okay. We're going to do a group send to JK, and we are just going to pray over JK. Dear Lord, we have no idea what is going on with JK, but we know that Jen is concerned for this person. And so we just ask that you surround this whole situation with your love, with your light, with your clarity, your healing, your abundance, and anything else that JK may need. And thank you for supporting JK. Okay. Amen. All right. So let's move on to messages or readings. Those of you who have a question you would like an answer to, go ahead and type it into the chat. Those of you who excuse me. Those of you who would like a message from Spirit, just type message from Spirit into chat. Okay, so we need a message for Cheryl. LP. Let's see. Jen and Rhoda and LP. I saw yours already. Eagle. Okay. How many of you guys here are Scorpios? Motorcycle accident. Okay. Whew. Got you. Was that this morning? Scorpio Venus. That means you love hard. Whew. Got you. Thank you, Jen. Boo-ba-da-doo-doo-doo. All right. My Venus is in Scorpio as well. Boo-ba-da-doo, boo-ba-da-doo. Yep. Absolutely. All right, so, but let me ask you this, Rhoda. Once you are done with love, there's no resuscitating that stuff, is it? Thank you, Cheryl. You're a Sagittarius? Okay, right next door. Okay, so we're going to start with Cheryl. Cheryl, forward message from Spirit. Right, Divine, I'm the same way. If I have loved you and it has not worked out, and it has not worked out in a big way, or maybe it's been the death of 1,000 cuts, whatever it is, once it's done, you may as well bury that. Oh, I hadn't seen that heart before. That's pretty cool with the cross in it. You are quite welcome. Okay, so Cheryl, let's see what we have, my friend. Sun coming up in reverse. We like that. Oh, and the void card. Let's see. What do we have? Oh, let's move this over a little. Okay. Da 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 da. Oh. All right. So, sun coming up in reverse. Cheryl, this talks about doing something that makes you feel satisfied, fulfilled, happy. And when it's in reverse, you're not doing this thing by yourself. You're doing this along with other people as well. And you're doing it without anybody else breathing down your neck or trying to set deadlines or tell you how to do whatever this is that makes you feel satisfied and fulfilled. Okay? Now, it's being crossed by the null card, which basically is telling me that whatever this is that you've done or been doing that makes you happy along with another person, there's some changes coming to that. This could be that you change whatever your normal routine of activities was with this person. Maybe you change the location of this. There's something going on where this is going through basically a remake, a revamping of how you spend your time with this person that you really enjoy. Doesn't mean you won't still really enjoy it, but it does mean there's something definitely changing here. Okay? Now, Ms. Cheryl. Boo-ba-da-doo, best advice or heads up. You've got the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands basically says that you have your choice about which direction to take this. In other words, whatever these changes are, there are multiple ways to go with these changes. And the Two of Wands or the Two of Batons in this deck basically says that whatever those choices are, they're all good. You just have to prioritize which one is the most important one to you and your other person. Hello there, Kumzil. Welcome. Glad you're here today. Now, your second card, Cheryl, is la Empress. This is basically saying that you get to manifest whatever you want for these changes. I think you're deciding. I don't think you have any trouble deciding how you want this experience to go, what kind of changes you want it to make. And I don't think it was bad before. I just think that it's changing. It's going to be still good, but you have your choice about what you want this to change into. How do you want this to metamorphosize? And then the Knight of Swords basically says, once you've manifested that, just have this conversation. Have this conversation with somebody about your vision for where you see this going. I think that this is a matter of, I think that you probably already want to make this change. I think it looks to me like this is a matter of just deciding what direction you want to take this and then communicating that to the other person. I don't see any kind of blockages around this whatsoever. Hello there, best version. All right, guys. Y'all know if you want a private reading where not everybody's hearing all your stuff, that is an option. You can check out my website for that. Let's see. So that was for Cheryl and anybody else who got a piggyback version or a piggyback off of that. Next, we're moving into, you're quite welcome. Yeah, I wasn't paying any attention to your typo anyway. You're fine. Okay, LP, you're up next. LP, message from Spirit. All right, LP is in the room. Let's see what we get for LP. Message from Spirit. You're quite welcome, quite welcome. Everybody else, be on the lookout for a piggyback message. Guys, don't forget to share this video with others in case somebody else needs a reading as well or needs a piggyback reading. Share this video out with others, please. You always share the good stuff. Share the good stuff. All right, LP. Ooh, 3 of Wands. We like it. Ooh, 9 of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay, let's take a peek. Oh, my goodness. LP, you better put on your seatbelt and your hard hat, baby girl. What do we have going on here? All right. Okay, honey bunny. So you have the 3 of Wands. This says you're making some long-term plans, or at least you're trying to. You're looking at the future. You may be making travel plans, but I don't know. This could be just more long-term plans in general. Maybe you're planning your retirement or something. Who knows? Maybe you're planning your funeral so that your family doesn't have to. I don't know. Planning what house you're going to buy. Can be all kinds of stuff. Long-term plans, possibly travel plans, doesn't have to be. 9 of Cups coming up here in reverse. This talks about dissatisfaction. Like, I'm making these plans, but I'm not very satisfied with them. Maybe you were planning on traveling to the United States, and now you're thinking, oh, don't know if I want to do that. What if these freaks try to deport me as soon as I show up at the airport? I'm laughing, but really I'm very sad inside. I don't know. Doesn't have to be that, but it does look to me like you are making some kind of long-term plans and you're not really satisfied with these plans. Okay? Now, let's look at why. Or at least let's look at your heads up or your insight. There's no end goal. Oh, dissatisfied with the idea that there's no end goal? Maybe. That could be. No, that would show up different. I don't think that's what it is. Because this is long-term plans. If it was in reverse, it would say I need to change my long-term plans. I don't have that. I just have that you're dissatisfied with the long-term plans as they stand. Well, yeah, maybe that is. Okay. I'm not going to keep debating that. You're probably right. It probably is the idea that you're not satisfied with where the long-term plans are going. Here's the thing. The idea that you're not satisfied with where they're going is actually causing some fear here. Now, fear can be a good motivator. If we're going to say anything good about fear at all, it can be a good motivator. The problem with fear, though, is that when we're acting in fear, we're making decisions based on fear, which are usually not the best ones for us. Okay? The line is open, yes. Okay, so Here's the thing. I can't believe you just said you don't have something to look forward to, because my Ace of Cups talks about finding some kind of new love. This would be finding something to look forward to. This would be finding something that you have that you want to put energy into exploring, basically. So this talks about this idea of dealing with this is really finding something that you can really enjoy and explore and be fascinated with and sort of dive into, at least mentally and emotionally. And with the Queen of Swords is really interesting right behind that, because the Queen of Swords talks about making a plan and making a logical plan, but she's a queen, she's a nurturer, making a logical plan to nurture yourself into having more of this in your life. So maybe this is about finding that end goal that you have something to look forward to, and then making a plan about how to get there. Okay. That's what I've got for you, honey bunny. Yep. Yep. So this could be finding a new hobby. Could be a lot of things. But finding something that you can get into and look forward to. Maybe planning a trip. I don't recommend the US right now. Give us a couple of years. All right. Do you guys want to hear? I did actually look and see how long President Trump is going to be in power. Do you guys want to hear what showed up when I looked at that? Or is that too political? Let's look at Jen next. Chandy. Oh, I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back. Glad you're here. Okay, so Jen, you're curious. Okay. So the first thing I wanted to know, and I did all this with tarot cards, but I didn't record it. The first thing that I wanted to know is if he's actually going to have another term. He's not going to have a third term. I think that's very good news considering what he's bucking for. And after that, I asked, is he going to complete this term? You know, a lot of astrologers are saying he's not, but there's a little bit of confusion about all that. So I got that he's not completing this term. Okay. And then I wanted to know, well, why isn't he completing this term? He's not going to be impeached, because I asked about that. He is not going to live the full length of this term. So in other words, he's going to croak. When I asked how he was going to croak, I asked, and I don't ask this kind of stuff in private readings, but I'm ex-Air Force and I want to know what's going to happen with my country. He's not going to be assassinated. He's not going to be murdered. He's not going to be poisoned. He's not going to die of natural causes. There's going to be some kind of accident, and I didn't ask what kind of accident. So that's how far I got with that. And then I thought, that's enough. That's all I need to know. I wanted to see how long he was actually going to be in office. So when I looked at how long he's going to be in office, he is still going to be in office at the 13-month point, which will be February 20th, actually, of next year, because didn't he get inaugurated on the 20th? And then he will be out by the 14-month point, which means somewhere between February 20th and March 20th, he's not going to be in office anymore. Hello there, Alicia. I should have probably done a video on it, but I just wanted to know for myself. All right, so I'm still shuffling for Jen here. And I'm always afraid of what's going to come up too on video. Like, what are we going to end up putting out there? All right, so Jen, let's see what we have. Message from Spirit. I would bet It's not every day that we get called to play paramedic at a traffic accident. Boobity doo doo doo, boobity doo. Yep. I mean, it sounds like he already loves life anyway. All right, let's see. Page of Wands, Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And I know you're a Scorpio, so I want to see, is this Jen or is this somebody else? Oh, okay, this is you. Now, this is really interesting, Jen, because you have a situation here where you're feeling inspired about moving forward with something, and you have somebody that comes along and gives you the green light, and they say that they're on board with this. So this could be a friend going on a trip with you. This can be a loan officer saying, we'll loan you the money for this business idea, or anything in between. But it's somebody coming on board for this inspired idea. All right. Now, Maria, go ahead and put it in the chat, honey bunny. Welcome, welcome. Now, look at this, though. We have you showing up as the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, which basically says whoever this is that comes on board, you're like, nope, I'm not sure what's going on here, but you don't want to be associated with this person or with their go-ahead, whatever their go-ahead is. And so you're saying, no, that offer does extend to other people, but not to you. Interesting. So let's see what comes up here as best advice or heads up around this. Oh, this is wild. I'm going to say follow your intuition on this, okay? So we have, first of all, we have the Hanged Man in reverse, which basically means that it means if you haven't already, take some time to really ponder and think over what your priorities are and what you want. What is your true objective and how do you want to move forward? And once you have that settled in your mind, then take action quickly. Don't wait. Don't try to figure out how you're going to do this without hurting somebody's feelings. Just take that action. Okay? Now, the Nine of Wands in reverse says it's going to really kind of take you by surprise, whatever you come up with here. It's going to take you by surprise just as much as it'll take this person by surprise whenever you realize, yeah, I don't want to do that. And the star allows for healing and hope. So I think that you're hoping that somebody else comes along that's going to do whatever this is or help you with whatever this is. But you're looking for somebody that is going to make this into more of a healing situation than what this other person would have. Okay, I hope that makes sense for you. Okay, Chandni. So spirit messages, if I do a message from spirit, I'm just asking spirit to set the topic. So it may or may not be about your career. So if you want to ask a question about your career, I want you to think about what is it that you really want to know about your career and kind of distill that down into one question. And we'll ask that question. Or if you want to get a private reading about your career and the best direction to go, you can always schedule a private reading with me. One thing way or the other. Okay? Now then, let's see. That was Jen. I hope that made sense for you, my friend. Rhoda, you're up next. I need to start writing down some names. The last person I wrote down was Eagle. Let's see here. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything, so I apologize, guys. Okay, so the next person to ask was best version. So we have Avneet has a question. And then after that, what did we have? Alicia, did I say hello to you? Hello if I did not. Let's see. Maria. Okay, so Maria actually has a question. I'll finish reading that question when it's time. Boo-ba-da-doo. Boo-ba-doo. Okay. Channy. Do we really want to ask that question, or do we want to ask which option would be better for you? Do you want best advice, or you just want to know what's in the energy right now? Let's see. Well, I'm working on my list. Here's my list. That's who we've gotten to so far. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, Rhoda. Okay, message from Spirit for Rhoda. Are you a Scorpio as well? Yay! Scorpios in the house. Seems like I draw a lot of Scorpios into my live chats. I had a lot of Scorpios in my Facebook this morning too. Rhoda. Message from Spirit for Rhoda, please. Scorpio with a Cancer ascendant. I'm Scorpio with a Taurus ascendant and a Pisces moon. And then I've also got Neptune, Mercury, and Venus in Scorpio. Rhoda. Okay, Miss Rhoda. Oh my goodness, Rhoda. Holy Toledo, lady. What do you got going on in your life? Oof. Okay, first of all, we've got our Three of Swords coming up here. This is heartache, heartbreak. All right. And I could see that. And Four of Swords, this is taking a break. You're taking a break from the heartache. Taking a break from the heartache. Okay, hard hat on, seatbelt on, Ms. Rhoda. Everybody else who's getting a piggyback message, same thing. Hard back and seatbelt. Safety belt. Now, Rhoda, this tells me that you're putting your energy and your emotions into something that is not paying off at all. And it seems like every time you turn around, you may be crying every time you turn around about this, or you're always facing some kind of heartache about this. It's just like it's a continuous plod, and yet you seem to be you are continuing to run your head up against the wall of heartache and heartbreak. Okay, so I don't know if this is a family situation, if this is a lover situation. I don't know what this is, but you're taking a break from the heartache and heartbreak. This tells me you are no longer putting energy and effort into this situation that continues to bring heartache and heartbreak. Okay? Guess what? This is taking a break. This is rethinking, regrouping, and getting ready to go back into the battle again. All right? I got to tell you, this really makes me think a lot of whenever I go back home to my family of origin, my whole IC on my chart. I always tell myself I've done enough self-work that I can go back there. Nobody's going to make me cry. This time I'm going to let all their craziness just go right off of me like water off a duck's back. And what happens? Every time I cry. Something happens and I cry. Okay, that's what this makes me feel like. This makes me feel like there's something that it's just continuously bringing heartache and heartbreak. You're like, you know what? I'm stepping away from this for a while. I gotta look at how I want to approach this. I gotta look at how I'm gonna go back into this in a better way so that I'm not continuously feeling heartbroken. Okay, that's what we've got, Ms. Rhoda. Now, let's look at your best advice or heads up here. Five of Swords coming up in reverse talks about the idea of accepting something. Maybe you have to accept that whatever this is, it's just going to keep being whatever it is. Just like my family is going to keep being whatever they are. There's this point of acceptance of, okay, this is just what it is. All right, that's the first thing. The Star card says there's not really any healing happening here. So if you're going in and trying to heal things, there's no healing happening here, okay? This is not it. This is not happening. And you know why it's not happening? It's not happening because these other people don't understand that they're not healed. They don't understand that they need healing. They think that you're just oversensitive. They've probably told you that. So it's time to come to this point of acceptance that these people don't even know that they need healing. Much less are they looking for healing. Much less do they appreciate any healing you're trying to bring to them. And then we get to the Magician, which is our positive card out here. The Magician says that once you come to this understanding, then you can start to create the things that you want in your own life. Why? Because you're not going to be focusing on their stuff that's causing heartbreak all the time. Because what's going on whenever you're in heartbreak and heartache, that's jacking with your energy. And that's putting your energy in a rough space. So when your energy is in a rough space and it's in lower vibration, can we manifest what we want? Nay, nay. Nay, nay. We're manifesting more of this. So when you accept that they're not looking for any healing, no matter, you can heal until all the healing is run through your body and it's just burnt it right all up. Doesn't matter. They're not healing because they're not accepting it. They're not ready for it. Next, you get to manifest the things that you want because you're not focused on their energy and hanging out with them in their energy. You get to be in your normal energy, and then you can manifest what you want in your life. And guess what? That's what gets their attention anyway. When you're happy, because they're not exactly happy. And then they're going to want some of what you have. But as long as you keep coming down there to their vibration, you can't show them anything. Time for you to do you, baby. So here's the thing. You don't have to necessarily isolate, but you do have to. This is taking a break from the heartache, okay? Taking a break from the heartache is not the same as taking a break from everyone. You can still be associated with other people who are like-minded and who are helpful and who are supportive. Okay? You don't have to isolate. And this is not saying isolate. There's not one hermit card out here. If you were supposed to isolate, I would see a hermit card. That's not it. But step away from the heartache and the heartbreak. Recognize that they're not in a space where they even realize they need to be healed. They're certainly not going to accept healing from you. And allow yourself to manifest those things that you need to manifest. You got a piggyback? Gotcha. All right, so what time is it? Okay. I just wanted to make sure nobody booked a reading and I wasn't missing it. I got a new automated schedule thing. Trying to pay attention to it without letting it rule my life. All right, so that was for Rhoda. Next up is Eagle. Eagle, are you still in the room? Avni is in the batter's box. After that is Maria, then Chandni. So this is Eagle with a message from Spirit. Woohoo! Thank you for letting me know, honey bunny. All right, so for Eagle, best message from Spirit. Guys, don't forget to share this video with others because other people might need a reading too. You never know. And because I really want this community to grow, 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 grow. It's fun to have a community of like-minded people that we can all hang out with, right? You guys are very supportive of each other. Okay, Eagle. We have a whole group of people that prays for people when we need it, right? We already saw that earlier. Eagle, Eagle. Eagle. And any piggybackers. Alicia, I feel like you almost always get piggybacks, which is fun. I definitely did already get one piggyback today. If you count Facebook, I think I've got 3 so far. All right, so what do we have here? 7 of Swords coming up in reverse. Oh, Lordy. Covered by the Lovers. Hmm. Okay, Eagle, so here's what this is talking about. This is talking about some kind of partnership with our Lovers card here. Can be a romantic partnership, but it doesn't have to be. It can also be a business partnership or anything where we do something repetitively with somebody having the same goal in mind together, working together with somebody. Now, with that 7 of Swords in reverse, now that's a little bit more complicated to talk about. So the first card is a partnership. That's our covering card. This card, the 7 of Swords, is the second one I want to talk about. When the 7 of Swords comes up in reverse, well, let's talk about it right side up because then it's easier to understand in reverse. 7 of Swords right side up says, I am sneaking away from some kind of situation. I'm doing it without burning any bridges. I'm not being dramatic about it. I'm just moving away quietly. Okay? The example I usually give is I have this thing about being around groups of people. I can take that for about 2 hours, and then I start to get drained and tired, and I know that the next thing that's coming is I'm going to feel grumpy. So I have basically a 2-hour limit. If I go to a party, most of the people that now invite me to parties understand that I have this 2-hour limit, and so they expect to come see me, or expect to see me coming to them at 2 hours to say, thank you for having me. This was wonderful, and it's time for me to go now. And so this is the way that I sneak away without burning any bridges. I'm not being dramatic about it. It's just time for me to go. Okay? Now, that's the 7 of Swords right side up. This came up in reverse. It's still the 7 of Swords, but it's in reverse. So what happens when it's reversed? That tells me that there was some kind of partnership that in the past you've already kind of left on the down low in a non-dramatic way. You didn't burn any bridges. Now we see you coming back to this partnership and rejoining this partnership again. Whether that's an employer-employee relationship, whether that's a lover, whether that's some other type of partnership, but we see you coming back to it again. And because it's the 7 of Swords in reverse, we see you walking back non-dramatically on the down low. Maybe people haven't even noticed so much that you've left. That's kind of the hope here. We just want to quietly slide back in. Okay? So that's our situation. We see you trying to quietly slide back into a partnership that you slid out of previously. All right? So that's where we are. Okay? So that's our situation Spirit wants to talk to you about, Eagle. Now, I don't remember your first name, Eagle. Page of Cups coming up as our first bit of advice is interesting. The Page of Cups basically says somebody is letting you know how important you are to them. Maybe that's why you're sliding back into this partnership. Maybe this other partner is saying, we did so much better when you were around. Okay? Now, we have the World in reverse. This is really saying that this is not necessarily an ideal situation. Employer-employee, gotcha. This says that this is not so much an ideal situation. Even if this person is saying to you, we did so much better when you were here, for you, this is not so much ideal. And I think they've already really shown you their true colors with this Ace of Cups in reverse. So we can see the insight that even though they're saying this stuff, it's not necessarily ideal to get back in there because you've already seen who they really are. Let's look at what your best advice is around this, because that's our insight, but I want to see even more advice here. That seems like that leaves us a little bit hanging. Like, yeah, I know. I feel like, yeah, I know. What's best advice? for Eagle with this situation. Well, now that's really interesting. Oh, I thought so. Okay. So, first of all, we have the Chariot here. This talks about moving forward with something. And I wanted to know, is this moving forward with this old situation? The answer came up as yes. Okay. So, when we look at yes, we have some interesting things showing up here. I think you have to negotiate with this person or with this group because there's a money issue here. Hang on, let's move my face so you can see more of these cards. Whoop, wrong picture. Oopsie doopsie. Oopsie doopsie. You know, I'm a great psychic, but I might be a little technically challenged. All right. So, let's bring more of these cards up here into the picture. Now, that's better. Okay. So when we ask about going back to this old thing, we got our death card in reverse. This says yes. This is like don't change a thing. So that would say yes right there. Wheel of Fortune in reverse says it's not necessarily the right time right now. So don't just jump right back in as soon as you hear from them that they like you so much. The Hanged Man says you take some time to think about this and get a good perspective of this from a bunch of different angles. So allow yourself some time to actually think about this. Now, Seven of Pentacles in reverse says, man, the payday just really isn't here. Okay? But the happiness is. So I think you have to negotiate with these people about the pay. I think that's part of what the delay is. Part of the delay is figuring out what is my ideal pay and then actually saying something to them, which we'll get to that in a minute. So I think with these cards coming up, let's get them out of the way. Let's look at these others. You do move forward with this. Whenever they say, you know, it would be nice if you were back, you say, you know what? I really had a great time whenever I was working for you guys. I enjoyed that a lot. I felt like that was a great environment, whatever it was that you liked about this. But the kicker is that the pay just wasn't enough for me to keep staying there and doing what I was doing and pay all the bills the way I wanted to and have the life that I wanted to have. So really, this is about the idea of whenever they come to you and they say, we would love to have you back, you're recognizing this was not ideal, even though you really did love it. This Ace of Cups says you've kind of seen their true colors. This says move forward with them. It's a happy thing to move forward with, but let them know, if you want me to come back, the pay is going to have to be different. And start that negotiation process. It's going to end up with the Ten of Cups. It's going to end up being something that makes you happy. But don't just roll over and come back just because they say some nice words. If they really mean what they're saying, then they should be willing to pay what you cost. Okay? That's what I've got for you. Who was that for? That was for Eagle. All right. I hope that makes sense for you. Will this happen soon? Within 3 months. I don't know if you consider that soon or not. But the thing about time frames too is once we say that something will happen, a lot of times then people start focusing on it and then it happens faster. So I'm going to say within 3 months. All right, so that was Eagle. Next, we have Avneet, who had a question. You are quite welcome. If you guys want to support me, there is a Buy Me a Coffee link in the description below this video. And if you would like to book a private reading with me, all you have to do is use the wrong way, wrong corner, that corner. Where's my camera? Anyway, my website listed on the screen. All right, so let's see here. Evneet had a question. Evneet, can you do me a favor and copy and paste your question back down so I can see it again, please? After that, we have Maria. And then after that, we have Chani. La da 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 da, la da da da, la da 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 da, la da da. Let Navneet move her question down. Maria, I want you to be ready to do that with yours. I'm not ready for you to do it yet. But if you want to copy it right now and be ready, that would be a good idea. And guys, while I'm waiting, if you want to book a private reading with me or see what all the other services I offer are, then you want to check out my website. I do have a couple of classes coming up. Tarot class and Reiki class. Plus, if you're in the local area, I do clear houses. If you have negative entities hanging out in your house, I get rid of them. Bye. Of course, I do private readings, and I do 1 and 2 question recorded readings. And of course, I do Reiki, also long distance. So either in my home or long distance, you can see the Reiki table back there. Mostly I do long distance because a lot of you are way too far away to come and see me. Okay. La da da da. Maybe it would be faster for me to scroll up then. Let's see if I can do that. Let's try scrolling up. Let's try scrolling up. Where did it go? Where did it go? Here we go. How would it go for adoption of my new version of Wealth for Women workshops for tailored business? Seems like you may have made some kind of adjustment later. Tailored for businesses. Okay. How would it go for adoption of? How will it go if Avni adopts a new version of Wealth for Women workshops tailored for businesses? How will that go for Avneet? Okay, let's take a peek at how this turns out for Avneet. Page of Wands, 5 of Coins, 9 of Swords, Priestess of Swords. This is interesting to me. I mean, it looks pretty good. There's one question I have with this, though. Page of Wands basically says you'll have some people that come along and say, yes, let's green light this. All right. The 5 of Coins, this talks about loosening up the budget. So this is nice. The 9 of Swords talks about chilling out, relaxing. So it brings some relief. The High Priestess, there's something about this that's really confusing for you. And the 10 of Wands, this talks about picking this up as a responsibility. So this talks about the idea that I think that after you test it out, you'll end up carrying it forward. Let's see what's the point of confusion. Let's look at what is the point of confusion that we're seeing here. Point of confusion. Thank you, Divyansha. Oh, this is funny. Yeah, I think that it does moderately well because we do see some relief. We don't see anything like that's over the top abundance. Like we don't have a Wheel of Fortune or, we don't have the Ten of Cups or the Ten of Pentacles, but it does do moderately well. Okay, it brings some relief. The point of confusion is that once you get into this and once you start, maybe once you do the prototype version of it, then you're looking at how can I upgrade this and how can I improve the reputation of this so that you can pick up more responsibilities here. That's the point of confusion. So at that point, it's probably a good time to either get a reading or to consult with somebody who would be a specialist in something like this particular part of growing your business. One or the other. One or the other. Maybe both. But I see it going moderately well, and I think that you're seeing potential in it. You're just not sure how to bring that potential to the next level. Okay. All right. That was for Evneet. Okay, next up is Maria. Maria, Maria. Maria, Maria. And you had a question too. Can you retype your question before I find it in here? Probably. Probably. Okay, I found it. 2 exams coming. Oral exam in June 10th and a bachelor assignment that has to be delivered 27 May. What grade will I get on each one? Okay, honey bunny, here's the thing. I'm going to answer one question for you here. So pick which one you want to know about, the oral or the other one. And I'll look at that one for you. Okay, best version. That sounds good. And let's see. In the meanwhile, while I'm waiting for Maria to figure that out and type it to me, we can do Chandni's. I know we wanted best advice for Chandni's, but what was the question? Okay. Is it a good idea for Chandni to stick with her current company or to move into a new job opportunity? Stick with her current company off the top of the deck. Move into a new job opportunity off the bottom of the deck. Stick with current. Look at all those queens, lordy. Well, they certainly appreciate you there. I wouldn't change anything there. Let's move these up so you can see. All right. Now then, I don't know where I can put my face that it won't be in the way here. Maybe we just make it smaller. Smaller, smaller, smaller. I love that I can customize this. All right, so let's go back to the bottom here. Okay, so Chandni, if you stay where you are, I don't think you want to stay where you are. You would rather not. However, look at this. You have 3 queens that think quite highly of you with this 6 of batons. This says people really appreciate you. So we have a Queen of Swords who's going to be my more logical one, more business oriented one, a little bit colder than the others, but still she's in a position of authority. She appreciates you. We have my Queen of Wands, which is somebody who's more creative, thinks outside the box, and doesn't let people tell her what to do just because it's normal, whatever normal is. She appreciates you. And you have a Queen of Cups. This is somebody who's more empathic and intuitive, who also appreciates you at this job. You're very well appreciated at this job. You just don't so much like this job anymore. Okay? So, now, if you go to the next place, this is funny. This is my card that says don't do it. This is my card that says keep things the same. Okay? So, we have our King of Swords in reverse, which basically says it's really not logical to go to a different place. We have a Page of Coins that says somebody is coming to you with an opportunity, and you've actually got lots of opportunities in front of you, lots of different options. But with that Knight of Swords in reverse, it would be kind of rash to choose those right now. Better to stay right where you are. So I would advise staying right where you are, kind of settle in there. Doesn't look like you like it, but there's a lot to appreciate there. A lot of people really appreciate you. You're better off staying where you are, Chandni. Okay, so Maria has not told me which option she wants to go with, which exam she wants to hear about. Which makes it kind of hard for me to answer her question. So I guess I'm going to pick one for her. Yay. Because I'm just going to answer one question here. If you want another question answered, you could always get a one question reading off of my website. But 2 exams. We're going to start with the first one she mentioned. Oral exam on the 10th of June. What grade will you get on the oral exam on the 10th of June? Okay, so okay, let's look at this. Will she get, on her oral exam on the 10th of June, will she get an A off the top? Nope, a B off the bottom. Nope. And this is the energy as it's sitting right now. That doesn't mean that you can't change some things and change how this turns out. Will she get a C on her oral exam on the 10th of June off the top? Nope. D. Oh, this does not look good. Well, honey, the way the energy is sitting right now, you're getting a failing grade on that oral exam. Which, when I see that, that just means to me it's time to prepare for that oral exam better. So, whatever you had in mind to prepare for this oral exam, you want to do more than you were thinking of, or you want to do something differently than you were thinking of if you want to pass that oral exam. Something has to change because right now, the way the energy sits, I don't see you passing that oral exam. And I'm not going to answer 2 questions for you, just so we started with that one. That's the one that it's going to be. In the live streams, I just answer 1 question per person. If you guys would like to actually have a reading, you can book a reading with me, but these are just tiny little teaser micro readings here. So let's see. Let's go back down to the bottom of the chat and see what we ended up with down here. Okay. All right, guys. So if you want to catch me live again like this, definitely make sure that you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so you'll be notified the next time I come live. I do also do uploads as well, but that way you can see when I come live. I do try to come live pretty regularly. And yeah, thank you guys very much for being here and for all the support. Don't forget to put a thumbs up. If you want to support the channel financially, there is a Buy Me a Coffee link down below this video. If you'd like to have a live reading, all you have to do is use that little website there to find out how to do that. If you want some Reiki, or if you want to learn Reiki, or if you want to learn to read the tarot, same thing. Go to that same website. And everybody, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys the next time if I don't see you before then. Peace